And then we found out over the weekend that Amazon may have offered Sean McVay a 5-year, $100 million contract. 5 years, $100 million, $20 million a year. That's player money. That's good player money. That's mediocre quarterback money as a head coach. Now, like I mentioned, Sean McVay has 2 years left on a deal that pays him about $8.5 million. And you know that the Rams are going to extend him as they should, as he has earned as a Super Bowl winning coach. You get an extension, you get a little more time added to your deal, and you certainly get some more money added to your deal. But $20 million? I mean, the highest paid coach in the NFL right now is Bill Belichick at around $13 million a year. But again, he does two jobs. He's the general manager, he's the head coach, and he's Bill Belichick. He's won the Super Bowl 6 times. So that he's the highest paid guy, not a huge surprise, right? That he's able to command a salary north of $12 million, not a huge surprise. Sean McVay hit this at exactly the right time. Sean McVay not only is a Super Bowl winning coach, he not only has been the head coach of the Rams for 5 years, won 3 division titles, gone to the playoffs 4 times, 2 conference championships, and a Super Bowl championship. He also is incredibly telegenic. He also is remarkably articulate. He's incredibly energetic. And the newest guy on the block, Amazon, who's going to have the Thursday Night Football package coming up for this upcoming season, wanted to make a big splash. Al Michaels is headed that way, right? If Al Michaels is in on this, then you know they're going to need to pair him with somebody extraordinary. Al Michaels is not going to work with just anybody. They're targeting Sean McVay, and the number $100 million for 5 years, $20 million a year gets thrown around. That was the first time during this entire process that I thought, oh, this may be real. This may be something that they actually do get done. This may be something that the Rams can't play. I mean, look, as rich as Stan Kroenke is, I don't know if he's Amazon rich, right? That's a whole nother level of wealth that maybe even Kroenke, who just built a $5 million stadium, would say, like, I can't do that. Now, the good news is the Rams are going to get close. I don't know if they'll get 20 million close, but they'll get Bill Belichick close. They might make him the highest paid coach in the league. That, I think that's probably how it goes. Who makes the most? Okay, let's add 5%, 10% to the top of that, and he's up next. I think that would be a fair deal for Sean McVay. I think that's something that would certainly satisfy him, something that would certainly keep his interest, something that would certainly make him feel like he didn't walk away from the opportunity of a lifetime at Amazon. All of that is important. But what's most important to me as you see these things is that Sean McVay made it very clear he's committed to this team. Because if there was any sort of stuff, if there were any sort of disconnects between himself and, say, Les Snead or Kevin Demoff or the ownership or his players, or he felt like he was just going to, burn out, that he had nothing left to give, $100 million waiting on the other side of the street is a pretty good reason to walk away and go do something else. He didn't. He decided that he wanted to stay. He decided that he wanted to stay with this team. We decided that he wants Aaron Donald to run it back. We know Matthew Stafford's getting ready for a new payday. We know that they have the skill players in Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods and hopefully Odell Beckham Jr. And these guys are coming back, and he has a full complement of offensive players. That may never present itself again. Because think about it. While it's incredibly enticing to try to talk yourself into, hey, I can go over there, I can take their money, I can set myself and my family up for generations to come. Sean McVay at the end of the day is a football coach. He's not a television person. He's a football coach. He wasn't 8 years old calling games. He was 8 years old drawing up plays. He's 8 years old figuring out how to make his offense go. So this idea that, well, I can come back to coaching, and he could. But do you come back at what expense? What does it look like? What team do you have? What sort of support do you have? Do you have an Aaron Donald? Do you have a Matthew Stafford? Do you have a complement of the right guys that know your system, that are fully cranked up, that are ready to go? I don't think so. Now, there's no doubt in my mind he could build it again. That if you took Sean McVay and put him almost anywhere, in a period of time, that team's going to be pretty good. I mean, because the Rams were that team, right? The Rams were the team that did not have a ton of talent, that did not have a ton of winning history when he took over. I know the Greatest Show on Turf, late 90s, early 2000s was very, very good. It's 20 years ago. He comes in and very quickly turns that same group of guys into winners, very quickly takes them to the Super Bowl, very quickly starts winning division titles. I'm not naive. I don't think that there's any question that he could do that somewhere else. The question is, why would he want to rebuild it when he's already built it once and it's built